Now we get to accomplishments. Number 8. Accomplishments and awards from all angles. You know, Drew Brees never won an MVP. Brett Favre won 3 in a row. Russell Wilson's never had an MVP vote. Peyton Manning won 5 MVPs in 10 years. They're all in the same class of quarterback. I don't give a shit if you agree with that. It's true. And that just shows circumstance. It's based on who's voting, when they're voting, what other people had that year in the league. And there are guys like Kyrie Irving, like Anthony Davis, that won as a second banana to LeBron James, who's, in my opinion, the second best player of all time. Those guys are not top 50 all-time players, but they are treated like by some people because of their talent and their ceiling. And some of their big game performances, they're treated like that. So they have these, what I call bling privilege. It's like, oh, you got this accomplishment. You got this ring. The 2008 Celtics, I've never seen a team milk one title more than them. Like Paul Pierce said he was the best player in the world after he beat Kobe. It's like, dude, you guarded Kobe pretty well. You also have, you know, KG, the best defender in the league at that point, arguably, maybe him and Duncan. Kendrick Perkins, Leon Poe. Bunch of other guys, PJ Brown. You had all these trees behind you to help you. But, oh, I'm better than Kobe. You're not better than Kobe, dude. You're on a better team. And, you know, then you got guys like James Harden. Amazing player. One of the best combinations of shooting and passing I've ever seen. But, you know, he won 1 MVP. Thought he had a right to run the whole Rockets franchise. And what did he do? He ran him into the ground. Made him trade him away. You got guys who've won that MVP like Cam Newton, Russell Westbrook. Again, that's that peak value or that ceiling, that 1-year ceiling. But Russell Westbrook's not a top 10 point guard of all time. He doesn't sniff it in my book. Can't shoot. Poor decision maker. Irresponsible defender. Amazing mentality, amazing, you know, force he puts on the defense. But though he's not overcoming those 3 deficiencies. He's not. Cam Newton, he was the MVP that year. Other than that, not accurate enough. Sore loser, not a good winner. Sensitive. Very similar to Russell Westbrook, honestly. It's the accuracy thing. Talent can't outdo accuracy. And I just think sometimes now there's a difference. Like, you know, if you're going to see the Warriors in a playoff series and they're playing the Celtics or they're playing, you know, a team that the Mavericks, let's say, that haven't won, you want to give them that bling privilege. They earned it. It's like, that's experience. That's a team that's battle tested. That's different. But you talk about just players and certain guys who think their shit don't stink just because they got 1 award or 1 ring. Glenn Rivers, another perfect example. Pete Carroll, perfect example. Mike McCarthy even. These are coaches that keep underperforming, but they keep getting more chances over decades of time because they won that 1 championship. Meanwhile, Pete Carroll should have won 3 or 4. He didn't acquit himself like an all-time great coach. Glenn Rivers should have won 2 or 3 with the Celtics. He didn't do a good job with the Clippers as a coach or a GM. Hasn't done a good job since. And, you know, that's the kind of overall realm that I like to talk about accomplishments and awards in, because accomplishments are voted on, like even all defensive teams. You know, Kobe was started getting some toward the end of his career where it's like, come on now. Like, I watched Kobe play this year, and I was rooting for him at that point because I really appreciated him in his old age, you know, gunning like he was. And I'm like, this guy ain't playing any defense. And on this topic, because I can't help myself, Isiah Thomas. He's still arguing about his legacy 30 years later because he didn't make the dream team and because he feels like he's left out of these conversations. Meanwhile, people just rattle off, Magic Larry Isiah, like as if he was in their league. Magic's got 3 MVPs. Bird won 3 in a row. Jordan won 5 or 6. Should have won more. Yeah, he won 5. He should have won 8 or 9. And Isiah had one amazing season where he averaged 21 and 14, and he was 5th in the MVP voting. Maybe if he played today, he would have grabbed 1 or finished, in the top 5 more than one time. But Isiah was not in that tier of players. But he still feels the need to defend himself and act like he single-handedly beat Michael Jordan. Well, he didn't. Jordan's numbers were far superior. I've said it before. I'll say it again. 22 games in the playoffs, they played against each other. Jordan, 37-6, 48% shooting. Isiah, 19, 8 and 5, 40% shooting. It's not close. Bird was a far superior player. But they're not taking anything away from Isiah. He had intangibles. He was a great leader. But he thinks he can speak from this mountaintop like he's on that level. And you still got people in the media, these sycophants, put him in the top 20 all time. It's comical. It's comical. You would not draft Isiah Thomas as one of the top 25 players of all time. You just wouldn't do it. Just too many great players. Go ahead. You take Isiah, I'll take Giannis. Have fun. I'll take KD. I'll take Barkley. That's the thing. And these people, because they won and some of these other guys didn't, or they didn't win twice. They didn't beat Magic and Michael and Larry. Meanwhile, Pistons first ship, Magic was hurt with a hamstring injury in game 1. Maybe they would have won anyway, but hey. Celtics got old, right? Oh, no, they didn't get old? Well, didn't the Pistons get old against the Bulls? Wasn't that the story, Isiah? You got old, right? That's what you said. So the Celtics didn't get old. You got old. Oh, wait, you were old at 29. Wait, what? You were old at 30? But you're an all-time great player. Well, why'd you get old at 30? Oh, I was tired from all those runs. Hypocrisy, man. So accomplishments and awards, it's like, some guys finish with, 5 MVPs. And like Jordan should have won 8. But that's an exception. Some guys get 0 MVPs and they had an argument for 2 or 3. Some guys like Nash got 2 and they probably should have only had 0 or 1. That's just how it goes. It's based on who's voting and what other people had and what the narrative that year is.